the number one stunner, aka the boss, aka three black hearses. It's murder. Anyways, man, holla at your boy. We in the fucking building right now, man. I'm fucking going. Oh, what the fuck? Shit, they got the avatar. I thought I had my avatar. I guess it's black. Triple black. We in the blackness. Blackness. Hear me? Oh, blackness. Blackness, darkness, 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 whatever, man. Anyways, man, holla at your boy. Um, I was just listening to the Kevin Samuels show, and it was just it's interesting, man, because they've been going through. I don't even know how many. I think he's been popular, really popular, for about a year now. And the interesting part of it is this notion um, that we can basically reprogram or rewrite or we just reprogram women and change evolutionary psychology and just change their true nature. It's just an impossible feat. It's funny, like you always wondering. I always wonder why um, every every night you got these women that line up to, basically get critiqued or talk to Kevin Samuels, and a lot of them have the same story. That's the insanity of it. They have the same story, and it's always um, a woman on there that's trying to be the exception to the rule, or trying to defy the rules, or trying to be different. And it makes sense, because every woman you talk to most of the time um, is, they, not all women. I don't know what women, the rhetoric, it's their, they're, every one of them is different according to them. And it proves to me that, I mean, it, a lot of his show just proves to me exactly, I mean, they're pretty much all the same. They might have a prototype, you might have a couple of variants with them. They'll cooperate for the right one. Just like you, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Like when you have some of these women that just keep making bad decisions, and they go for the same prototype of guy, expecting for the same result. They go, through dozens of them, and expect a different result. Just like when you have these ladies that line up in the show, you know, you'll see one after another. A horrible situation, single mother. She doesn't have the scale, but she wants, $1 million man, and one by one, the same story. Like, each one of them think they're going to get a different result. Each one of them are special. Each one of them going to have. But the thing about it is, it's no matter how hard, even the manosphere or whoever tries, or whatever. It's like you might as well just bury your head in sand. Um, they're not reprogramming them. They're just not going to be reprogrammed. It's not. If anything, they will be more defiant and more delusional. Basically, we'll just call it delusional. Because the thing about it is it's like, you might. And the thing about it is, a lot of times it's men's fault. A lot of men, different men, it's their fault because you might have make some headway. You might get some. They might have a moment of clarity. They might have these moments of clarity, but all it does is just takes one simp or whatever you want to call it, lame. I mean, they got all kinds of names for that shit. You might fuck boy. I mean, it just takes somebody to take them through there to kind of reverse the programming, or just to kind of hit the reset button, and they're right back into the delusional pattern. And it's so interesting, but it's almost exhausting even talking about this subject anymore, because I don't even think they're just not going to be reprogrammed. I mean, it's just not going to happen. They're going to be who they are, and we're going to be who we are. I mean, you can't rewrite evolution. You can't reset evolution. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And I just love watching that show sometimes because I'm just like, damn. I was like, we've been through this before. You're not gonna. I mean, that's the insanity, man. Shout out to Platinum, man. Shout out to Platinum Elite. I've been on the show a couple times. You know what I'm saying? It's fun, always a fun time. Great stream, man. Very underrated stream. In due time, he's gonna get there because, he does like some long streams and shit like that. And what's funny about it, there's always a bunch of variety. They got comedy, you got a little bit of seriousness, education, all that type of stuff. It's a pretty good variety show. It's unique. And he's building a following. I mean, he's building a following, man. Shout out to David Johnson. David Johnson, man. He always, put out some good words of wisdom and stuff like that. Thing about David Johnson, he always says something about the insanity of him. It is insane. They're insane. It's like, um, you're gonna bury your head. You should just bury your head in sand and just don't listen. Because the anytime like you really listening and following and expecting a different result, you're just gonna run yourself right into a ditch, man, and crash the car, man. That's just basically what's gonna happen. It's just no point. Um, but I really think it's like at because we beat these fucking subjects to nauseam. We just beat the fuck out of these subjects. You know what I'm saying? All these different talking points and shit like that. It's just fucking. It is. I mean, today I was just like, man, let me go on this panel or whatever. I was at work or whatever. I was like, nah, I don't feel like talking about this shit anymore. It's just kind of boring. You know what I mean? Women are fucking boring now, man. They're just fucking boring, boring, boring. I mean, there's just nothing interesting about this whole thing. It's like um, when you hear the rhetoric and the thing about it is, no matter how much facts, no matter how much evidence you have, you're just not going to reprogram them. You'll get some cooperation, maybe. You might get some cooperation a little bit. And the worst part about, sometimes, watching that one show, Kevin Samuels, it's what's sad, and it's a little bit sad. It's the ones that are like 50, 50 or in their 40s, and trying to relive life and shit like that, and trying to what they say they're trying to get married and shit like that. That part right there is very sad because those are probably the ones that will probably. I mean, those are the ones that will never, ever, ever, ever see the light. I don't think so. I just don't think they'll ever see the light. If you get one young one and she kind of soaks it up and get the right person to kind of put them under the wing. But the only problem is the structure that even that young woman is part of is probably pretty toxic and probably pretty detrimental to her development. Because if you have a bitter single mom, you got a bitter auntie, you got a bitter that, they're going to definitely poison, any chance that she has of really seeing the light. A lot of times, you're going to take a strong male figure in her presence to kind of almost get her to see the light, and there's very few of those type of households right now. So it kind of sad for like people like my son. My son is young, but my nephews and things like that. I got a bunch of nephews. That it's gonna be hard to find one of those things. I mean, but it's a new generation. It's a new day. They're gonna be. I mean, it'll be fine. I mean, they'll just have to get used to it. The traditional family unit that we're used to seeing is just non-existent anymore. It's not gonna be. It's just not. It's just not. I mean, um, and and I was watching Kendra, or whatever, the one with Kevin Samuels, and Kevin Samuels is sitting there talking to her, trying to beat some sense into her. And every time Kevin Samuels said something that was factual, or it hurt. You could just see the pain on her face, like she just didn't want to accept it. That shit was crazy. It's like, and then it's like mm, they want to live in a parallel universe, and sometimes it's kind of like it, it is. I mean, it's very addicting to watch that shit, because you're like, damn, that shit is hurting her to her fucking core, that this guy is saying this shit, and the thing about it is can't be disputed. That fucking hurts, man. That shit fucking, it's like a gut punch to a lot of those people that call into the show, because the information that he's putting out and shit like that can't be fucking disputed. It can't be fucking disputed. Not discredited and shit like that. Um, and the thing about it, it's not hyperbole. It's not hyperbole. So the percentages and stuff like that, but I guess some of it can be subjective or anecdotal. Like, that's so funny where he doesn't, um, he stops them from trying to use anecdotal evidence to kind of prove them right, and it's a default. And I'm learning a lot from just watching these interactions and stuff like that. But don't be fooled. I mean, most of the interactions that I have in real life, with women and stuff like that, they're kind of not like that. Um, you know, mm, I mean, with me, they know what you see is what you get. I mean, I don't pull no punches. I don't play no goddamn games. I'm the fucking real deal. That's what it is, man. I'm the fucking real deal in real life. I don't be pump faking, man. A lot of people be out here talking crazy. Yeah. Oh man, Derek Jackson's fucking taking an L and shit, man. I don't give a fuck about that shit, man. I really don't give a fuck about what people think about me. Mm-mm. Triple BLACK. You know what I'm saying? Check out Big Dream Sports TV. We was on the fucking show this morning. Check out to veterans by veterans. Yeah, my boy, Coach Patterson. Putting in work. And that whole he's starting to do a podcast network. He putting in some freaking work here. What else? Yeah, I think he had another show, man, but it was like veterans for veterans or something like that. Y'all check that shit out. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to it. Damn, I get my viewership up. You heard me? Anyways, man, make sure y'all hit the like button. Show some love. You feel me? Show some fucking love for me, man. Triple BLACK be putting out that great content, man. Check me out on Facebook. Big Dream Sports. Triple Black 239. Yeah. Mm-hmm. On Instagram. I'm on Twitter. No Cupcake Zone Podcast. Man, I gotta start doing some heavy shit. Man, it's damn, I've been doing a lot of fucking panel streams lately. It's been kind of fun. I work during the day and shit like that, so it's kind of like a little outlet. We be clowning, joking. We be talking. You know, talking some shit like that. Like, talk a lot of shit. Talk a lot of shit. I talk a lot of shit. I be putting pressure on people. But anyway, no, but I think that's just the moral of it, man. I think a lot of people think that you can reprogram evolution. You can't really program evolution. People are who they are, and there's going to be certain things that they have already been conditioned, and so thought process, that there's nothing you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? It's just nothing you can do about it. You can talk about it, you can get mad about it, you can do all these things, that there's nothing you can do about it. I was just and I was watching that shit, and it's like it seems like, and I was just like, why? Well, it makes sense. It makes sense because every one of them, no matter how many shows you watch, they all feel like they're going to defy the odds, or they're going to be the special one. They're going to be the exception to the rule. They're going to be the unicorn, and it makes sense. It really, really, really makes sense. It's just like what is it? Future, like he's like the whipping boy for like the like some of the people always point to Future, like Future has all these damn kids, and then like all these these instant models, these thoughts or whatever. They always think that they're going to be the one that changes him and changes his mind, or it's going to be he's going. It doesn't even it makes fucking sense now, but I think it's but it's so funny, and the thing about it is like even as a guy, far as from a aesthetic standpoint, like looks wise, you kind of have an idea what your lane is. You can have an idea what you can pull, based on looks, right? But if you have a mouthpiece, if you can talk some game or whatever, or you got something special that sets you apart from everybody else, you a lot of times you can use that to your advantage. For me, I think it's my intellect. I think I can, I'm in sales and stuff like that, and I'm really good at it. I feel like I'm really good at it if I really try. So, you know, um, there's a lot of women that I'm not scared of, because what I'm saying, I can, if I really focus on them, I can get some cooperation. I do pretty good. I'm a big guy. I'm a big guy, but I think I have a lot of swag. I know I have a lot of swag, but anyways, let them tell you. Let them. I do all right. I do fine. I do fine. I ain't pressed about that. I'm at an age right now. I'm just unimpressed. I'm more focused on different things, different tasks, different all that type of stuff. So I'm not really pressed on that shit. It's like learning, but I just wanted to do that because I was like, man, we're not gonna. It's like no matter how much facts you give, no matter how much evidence you show, it's not. Especially when you're getting something from a male point of view. A lot of women receive it differently. They no, well, let me take that back. They receive it, but their default. What I'm saying is, but but what they do, because it's just, it's like, let me take a, I would say, let me take a step back. That's what they do, though. It's just they will be in automatic denial. Their default position is to kind of um story I mean stir you off track, especially when they don't like the information that is giving in. That's why like people like Derek Jackson is so effective, because the information that he gives in is very uh it's very like, they love validation, because as long as you're giving them validation, it's good. It's good. They'll accept the validation, and they will, especially if they have an ego, they love that validation. So he gives them that validation, and they receive it well. But when they look at him, it's probably the model of what they want. Like, if they, that's why he's so effective. He got big muscles. He whatever. I guess they think he looks good and shit like that. As a man, I don't really see other men in those type of lives, so I don't really know what they fucking like. And I'm being dead ass serious because I just don't. I don't know. But anyways, because when they look at that, it was like, wow, the guy that I want or I'm looking for is telling me that I'm great, so they receive it. But if it's somebody that they're not attracted to or whatever that's giving them that information, it's not going to be well received. It's not going to be well received because they're going to reject it. They're going to, if anything, it's going to trigger them. It's going to fucking trigger them. Like really, really, and then if well, even if they like them, I guess the way that they look, if they give them that negative information, they still may be triggered and be uncooperative or whatever. So, I mean, and the thing about it is sometimes they'll try, if they have any attraction to that person, they'll try to steer them off course, you know, try to get validation and stuff like that. And, it's a game. It's a, a very interesting game. But I mean, every t- every time I see that fucking Kevin Samuels show, man, that shit is crazy, man. It's the same fucking shit. I seen like this one lady. Obviously, she was a larger lady, which is fine. She was whatever. I don't got a problem with that. I'm a large man myself, but based on what Kevin Samuels always says to the ladies that don't fit the prototype that he's always talking about, you always have some of them that go in the room and they they want to defy the odds too. That shit to me a lot of time is mind boggling. It's mind boggling how they think that they're going to get a different answer. And And then the ones that come in there, he's always talking about cooperation, submissive, and all this type of stuff. Like you'll have like the angriest one come in there and think she's going to defy the odds. And and I think the reason why a lot of them feel that way is they're able to manipulate men in real life, so they're almost conditioned to believe that they can manipulate all men with their vagina. They and then he's not. I mean, when he can't be manipulated, they were like, no, 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 no. I do this all day. I extract money. I get money. I sleep with men and do all this type of stuff. I will be able to change his mind, and they can't, and they're not able to change his mind. So they just fucking like try to and they can't drive the conversation into a fucking ditch, or they cannot steer it off course, and it fucking drives them insane. That shit is funny as fuck, man. They try to, they try every goddamn time to steer that shit off course, try to derail the conversation, try to do all this type of stuff, and that shit does not work. And and the thing about it is they they just take their ball and they run. The fun about David Johnson brought up something when I was on the panel the other day with on Platinum Elite show. He was like, "Man, you guys, they should make a show called Shoot Your Shot Sunday and just have the women shoot their shot at the men." And he said that it would probably it wouldn't go well because most of them can't really talk to men, and because they're usually the one that are being approached and they're horrible at conversation, bringing up conversation and stuff like that. They're like, from that perspective, they're very socially awkward. you know they're not used to even subjecting themselves to rejection, and that's a thing. It's just like they're just not. I mean, because they're usually one or being courted. Um, now we have a landscape now where you have a bunch of group of women think Not only it wasn't enough for a man to go and risk their pride or ego or whatever to go up to him, talk to him, try to get their number and all this type of stuff. But now it's not even the prerequisite has to be like, um, first of all, you gotta talk to them, get their number. Um, well, you don't really gotta do that on social media. You can just shoot your shot on social media. But anyways, but they think that's a prerequisite. You know what I'm saying? Get their attention or get their whatever. Give them a whole bunch of attention first. Like their pictures, comment on the pictures, follow them, stalk them, whatever. In addition to that, you gotta roll out the red carpet. And you gotta basically do a fucking. You gotta be a dancing monkey. And if she's halfway decent, she has like 10 dancing monkeys. So she has 10 dancing monkeys to to choose from. Now she's dwindling down the dancing monkeys, to see which dancing monkey is going to spend the most on her. then, then that's going to dwindle the 5 dancing monkeys, and then by the time the dancing monkeys, like if you are the dancing monkey to win, you're probably exhausted. You're probably exhausted. You probably don't want anything to do with her anymore because it's just exhausting. But that is the prerequisite now for most of them. The modern woman. It, they they coined the phrase "the modern women," man. But anyways, man, I've been on here for 30 minutes. It's your boy Triple BLACK. Make sure you check out Big Dream Sports. We in the fucking building. You hear me? Big Dream Sports on YouTube. Big Dream Sports TV. No Cupcake Zone podcast. I'm on Spreaker. I'm on also Spotify. You hear me? I haven't made a show in a little bit, but you can. Man, my back content is fire, straight pressure, straight drop. Anyways, man, hey, you guys have a good night, man. Good Saturday night. Make sure y'all check out the Platinum Elite Show. Hey, man, if you ain't doing nothing on a weekday and shit like that, they be chopping it up. I come through everything. Shout out to the people that come through, man. Shout out to David Johnson, man. Shout out to was it damn, official Sir Ism. What's damn, Alfie Kingdom be coming through there. Mr. Fantastic, Angry Man. The whole manosphere, man, be coming through that shit. Shit, I'm kind of new at that shit, so I don't know, a lot of the politics and shit. So I just be coming on there and just dropping jokes. Shout out to Celeste, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Beach. I don't know nobody else, man, but we used to have Silky Red come through, but she don't come through no more. I don't know what the fuck happened. Anyways, man, shout out to Jason Johnson, man, Mac Bowney, all those cats be putting in some good content and shit like that, man. I can't fuck. I mean, I be getting a little gangster, little ratchet and shit like that, but it's all love, man. Shout out to you people, man. I'll let you boy.